Hello. Welcome to our YouTube live chat show on our YouTube channel, Voices of Courage Asia, Courage to Be You series. My name is Julia Chong, and today we do not have Lilian Ong. Lilian
Yay.
Ong is missing. So
Yay.
instead, we have Anita. Anita, say hi.
Hi, everybody. My name is Anita Kaur. I'm one of the community leaders of Women of Courage Asia. I'm also one of the co-authors for the book Voices of Courage. I'm a mom of 3, and I also have my own Facebook live show that happens on Monday and Thursday. But it's not about me today. It is about somebody else.
Yeah, it's about somebody else. So today, Lilian is not here. She is doing her duty. She's doing some corporate talks to a corporate company.
She joined NS.
Yeah, her national service is to give preview talk to help people,
Yes.
To be mentally resilient in times like this. Awesome.
That's a national service to the nation.
Yes. Okay, so today our special guest is Lynette Har. She's a co-author of Voices of Courage book, as well as a community leader at Women of Courage Asia. So before we bring her on, let's talk behind her back. How do you, the first time when you see Lynette, what was your impression of Lynette?
Oh, I like her. The first time I met her was at the launch of our Voices of Courage book. And I remember we had to do that video snippet thing, right? And she was the only one, I remember, she was the only one that stood there while I was at that corner, right, at Genius Central. And she actually went, we're practicing how to do the video show, and she was the only one that actually stood there with me, and she said, "Can I have your phone?" I said, "Why?" She said, "I want to video you so they can have a view of the background," and she took photographs. And till today, I use those photographs for my profiles and all that. And that's her heart. Very selfless. And then, don't even talk about her amazing disposition, okay? The woman carries herself so well, so poised, so well thought through, and always smiling. So
I'm sure she's smiling very widely.
No, I feel very insecure next to her because I'm so rough, and I'm like, and she's like all calm.
She's very well put together, right? Very poised, right? Yeah. So my impression of Lynette is really like that. Wow, and she's quite tall. I'm tall. I think she's slightly taller than me. And she comes in and then like, wow, so elegant. I think I first saw her in one of the Women of Courage Asia meeting, our monthly government meeting. So she walked in like, wow, so poised. And one thing I noticed about Lynette is she is very photogenic. And on camera, on live shows, the camera really, really loves her. So I, like you, I also feel insecure, like, wow, this beautiful, elegant, so poised woman. And then when I get to know a little about her, then I realize why she's so poised. We already know why she's such a poised woman. Yeah, we'll find out why. So we are fangirling here, okay, Lynette? We are fangirling here.
So for all of you there, we have eye candy for you today, okay?
Yes. So let's bring her on.
Bring her in.
Yeah.
She like run
Don't
away.
run away.
I think I'm trying to hide somewhere now.
Hi, Lynette. Yeah. Natural blush. You have natural blush.
The clothes today you're wearing is red, is it?
Yeah, I think camouflaged all the way through,
You see, even she's so dressed down, she still looks so good, right?
I know. And then can you see she first thing she goes, "Oh, I'm blushing." I tell her, so twinkle twinkle little star, so nice.
Okay. Okay, so don't make her surprised here. I did. So okay, Lynette, maybe just introduce yourself. Tell the audience who you are, what you do.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Lynette. I think, as you would have gathered, I'm a Woman of Courage community leader as well, part of the Women of Courage Asia, and I'm a executive and life coach. So I see my mission as being able to elevate and empower humanity with life skills to level up, and how I do that is through coaching. Which is a profession I've fallen in love with. I also balance that with altruism, which is for every client that I coach, I will in turn empower a less privileged or a youth at risk, which is something that I hold very close to heart. Yeah.
Thank you, Lynette. And
Thank
this
you.
is why I'm so attracted to your business model, is because the moment, you're really all about paying it forward. So, helping a woman, coaching them in business, in life coaching. And then with that, you decide to, like pay it forward by giving pro bono work, right? To either at youth risk
Yes.
or, young ladies, right?
Young
Or it doesn't
ladies,
matter.
young
Yeah,
guys,
young
it
ladies.
doesn't matter so long as you
Yeah,
you
the
fall
youth.
into it.
Yeah,
You fall. Yeah, and Singapore has it under 25, so that's quite a big spectrum.
We are no longer youth. So sad.
Gone
Only
were the days.
you, only you, I'm only 19.
Forever young.
Forever 19, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, Lynette, tell us, how do you come to know Women of Courage Asia?
Oh, that goes back to when I first started on my journey of exploration. I met Lilian in one of a conference that Les Brown was speaking in, and she came on, and her story actually intrigued me to contact her further, because she had balanced her work with the social part of it. So she's a social entrepreneur, and that actually drew me to her amongst all the other speakers. And I reached out to her, and we connected, we met up, and we hit off immediately. And like in that same meeting, she was like, "Would you like to join us as a community leader?" It's like, hang on, what am I getting into now? Because I was very new in I am still very new in the entrepreneurial journey, and I'm learning a lot along the way from the community and from her and from everyone here, especially. Very blessed to have a content writer here and Anita with all her energy. Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, so Lilian is doing her job well. She's in her right path.
Very well.
And
Very well.
typical Lilian, she would just grab you in, right? Anita, grab you in and let's do this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I always tell people we met in prison. Even in prison, she's intentional. Even in prison.
Yeah, she's going to ask you to stop saying that.
I don't care. It's my story. I don't care.
Okay, so today we just want to spotlight on Lynette. So we asked her to come on to our show is because we want to hear from her experience in co-authoring a book called Voices of Courage, which you can see behind me. There's a copy there. So we want to hear more of her experience, her story. So Lynette, yeah. So without exposing your quote, without saying your quote, why did you choose this particular quote to be featured on the book Voices of Courage?
Wow, how much time do I have?
Take all your time. Take all your time.
30 minutes.
Okay, let me try and summarize that. The quote is something that I realize I fall back on in my life as I reflect on the journey where I've been so far. And that starts from even in school, right from school where I had to prove my worth, to secondary where I was made the head prefect, and also in the stream, because it's a challenge to balance both academic and prefectorial duties. That was a challenge. And then my headmaster challenged me further and said, I know you can do it, but I'm going to send you this challenge in any case. If you hit this aggregate score, I'm going to make you top student of the year. I was like, how is that a motivation? You're giving me more stress. So my blinkers came up. I focused a lot, and I did it. I was awarded top student of the year. And after that journey, even within the work where I was headhunted and then retrenched, and then retrenched, and then retrenched. That was a journey. But through that quote was a fallback, because in that journey, I learned, I think, a lot more than if the path was smooth sailing. And I'm grateful for that journey, because I think without that, I wouldn't have met the fantastic people that I still keep in touch with until today. But let alone those life challenges or that journey that I went through, that quote helped to remind me that it's just stick to your guns, and you will see light.
Awesome. That's so good. That, you know, when I came to know about this project, right, I kept asking myself, is using quotes so important and so powerful? Because to me, I never really think about quote as being able to help someone come out of like either challenges or issues. To me, it's a quote law. Read already, okay, then you move on. But until when I came to, be part of this project, I realized that, quotes are so meaningful to people, so important to the person who is using it. I mean, it's like you and I may look at the same quote, but we can look at it very differently, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
interpretation
good.
is very different.
I have a question.
Is very
Lynette.
different.
Yeah, Lynette, I have a question. How old were you when your headmaster threw you that challenge?
Yeah.
How old were you when your
How old was
headmaster
I?
threw you that challenge?
Wait, I start doing math now. Let me do some math.
You need
Primary
calculation.
school? Primary school?
Calculator no need lah. No, secondary. So it was O level time, right? So what happened in So what happened in primary school? O levels. Yeah. So for O levels,
so it's
and
O-levels.
what happened? Yeah, is I retained in primary school, and I had this inferiority complex as I entered secondary school. But my parents supported me along the way, and I took it as a chance to level up together with my peers who had already left primary school. And then when I entered secondary, I moved from the normal stream into the express stream. And it was that in that journey then that my headmaster recognized I saw something in me somewhere. And threw me that challenge again when I was in Sec 3. Yeah,
Okay.
because I was then shortchanged.
Yeah. I just want to ask you also.
Fast forward.
No, going back in Sec 3, and when that challenge was thrown on you, I mean, trying to figure back about being a typical teenager, you retain. Okay, you retain. So you definitely come in feeling a bit insecure, a bit down and low. So, I mean, I just want to ask you, how do you face your peers with the truth that, hey, guess what? I'm actually 1 year older than you.
That's a very good question, Anita.
Yeah.
To be honest, when I entered Sec 1 into the normal stream, I was like, hey, I managed to get into secondary school. So I was like, a bit to the primary school teacher who decided to not promote me over 0.5 marks, which I still remember until today. But also, as I mentioned earlier, I'm grateful for that, because otherwise I wouldn't be who I am now. How was I as a teenager then? I was feisty. I think that word would sum up. And I don't, it's very difficult for me to turn a challenge down, especially something that I feel would make a change in myself or the people around me. Yeah, very stubborn as well. So when it was harped upon me that, you missed out on a year. Now, you are in school, you can make up for it. And then when my parents got to know I can jump into express stream if I work hard and score that pass that timeline, right? They were like, wow, every day, non-stop. So that recorder was playing at the background. And I was like, so it was a struggle. My teachers had supported me a lot, but a lot depended on me to do what I had to as well. And so that meant really biting the bullet and getting what I needed done at 14 years old then. So I guess the maturity does help in that sense, even though I'm 1 year older. So I could tell my peers, I'm like, hey, hello, senior here, listen to your senior. So that helped.
Nice.
But really, I think it was the grit and resilience.
Nice.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah,
that
question though.
Yeah, you did.
part of
You
the
did. You
story.
did. You did.
Yeah, I think all of us had our moments in our teenage years. There will be another story to tell. Yeah. So the next question, Lynette, have you ever thought about writing a book? Like, did it come across your mind that, oh, finally I want to write a book? No, right? Okay. So when you were when you were given the opportunity to co-author a book with amazing woman, right? How did you
Yeah.
feel?
I was like, really? You want me to write a book? For real? Yeah, that was my first reaction. What am I going to write? I don't have anything to write. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were
So when they were
the
asking,
thoughts that were flying out.
okay, so when they asked you, okay, just give a quote. Do you had trouble like looking for quotes, or
Yes.
like this quote came out already? You had trouble.
I had trouble because there's so many quotes out there, right? And there's so many quotes that I fall back on, or as you said, when you look at a quote, your interpretation and my interpretation is different. Let alone when I look at the same quote at that moment and probably a few years ago, it would mean very differently to me as well.
Absolutely.
So choosing that one quote and making it mean something, because the whole purpose of the book was to inspire fellow women out there. So to choose that one quote that really meant something that was very close to heart took me some time, and in fact I nearly missed the deadline for submission. I procrastinated.
Yeah, you procrastinated, and then Anita was giving a very last minute.
I was given 24 hours.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, even for me also, I had problem getting quotes because I know a lot of quotes, but I didn't really have that particular quote to help me or to sustain me, or even like, it's like a jumble of everything that from each and every quote that comes in. So, but there was this particular quote that I thought was that is kind of describe how I face things, how I manage things, how I overcome things. So that was my particular quote, which is not from a famous person or a live person. If you read the book, then you will know why, from where.
Yes, but we're not giving away our quotes now.
No, you have to get Lynette's book, and then you can see my quote, Anita's quote inside there. Yeah. So when you were, writing, trying to take the quote writing, the backstory of quote, do you have any like negative feelings? Do you have any like blockage, your self-belief, anything negative that came out while you're going through it?
Oh yeah, tons. Tons.
Yeah, I mean, like share one or two with us. Like, what was the thing
I think in addition to the procrastination of like, do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it? And which quote do I use if I want to do it? To, am I really good enough to write a quote? That all those came through.
How about you, Anita? Like, do you have like, sure or not?
Yeah.
I think it was very. I practiced the Parkinsons Law perfectly. At the Parkinsons Law, Parkinsons Law, if you didn't know what it is actually a task given to someone. They will finish the same task even if you're given a limited time. So, say, for example, you tell someone, okay, the deadline is in 2 weeks' time. People have a tend to get it done closer to the deadline. But you tell them the same task is due tomorrow, they will produce the same quality of work by tomorrow. So that's the Parkinson's Law. Okay, in short.
I learned something new today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anita.
So don't feel bad about procrastination. For some reason, our mind is so wired to actually finish the task closer to the deadline. So what Parkinson's Law teaches us is that, especially more for the millennium generation, for us, for me, because millennium generation, 19 years old. But for your oldies out there, the two of you, I'm gonna get
my fine wine lah. Don't
yeah, fine line. But anyway, for it's more very apt for the millennial generation. So what happens is deadline is tomorrow or 48 hours. and they will produce the same amazing piece of work. So that's Parkinson's Law. So back to your question, did I have anything negative? I didn't have time. So it was like, Anita, it was in the morning. Can I get it by midnight, 11:59? I'm like, what? I said 1 a.m. So there was no time to, the timeline was so tight, there was no time for me to entertain. But again, if given the 2-week thing, yes, I'll probably same boat with you all, which code, what code, where code, how code. Yeah. So I appreciate the Parkinson's Law being played there.
I think for me it was, sorry, Lynette, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt there. But that's not to say, right, that with the Parkinson's Law, it gives an excuse for the millennials out there to study at the 11th hour.
No. It's different. That's why I said it's work on projects.
Project. The caveat is project.
Yeah, not exams. Okay, your last
manageable
exam at 9
project.
o'clock, start studying at 7, forget it. It is based on projects. So
and hope to get it.
Yeah, so millennials have a lot of presentation, deadlines, work that doesn't require third party to market. Yeah, so it's not exams. So they work very well in that short timeline. I suppose it's just to do adrenaline.
Yes.
Well said. Okay, so so better come back to the question because today is all about Lynette. So
okay.
after you choose your code and then you write the backstory about it, okay, and then it's sent out. So that's it already, you cannot, no U-turn, no can I use another code? Then it was published, it was launched. How did you feel when you see the physical book in your hand and your name is there? Your picture?
Disbelief. I was like, wow, it's really published and hey, that's me. And I was like, oh, really, for real? And I was like, playing with the book. I was like, okay, this is real. This is in my hands and it's real.
Touching the book, smelling.
Yeah.
Do you take a lot of pictures with the book?
To be honest, I think it was a lot of disbelief. So as I was getting ready for this interview, I was looking at my phone photos. A handful, yes. A handful. Disbelief. Yeah. And I think that disbelief only dissipated when I had to do the order form. And I was like, oh, okay, I need to sell this book. So that funds can come in for the Women of Courage also. So let me sell this book.
I think for me also this is a big project for me, and it's also very joyful to see the birth of the project. And it's so beautifully done. Thank you, Karen, for designing the whole entire book. It's so beautifully done, and it really, really, just it's all about voices of courage. It really depicts what's the entire book all about. So for me, it's pure joy, and it's like a little bit surreal because I have never done a book project before, never in my life. Have I done a book project? Never in my life edit, I edit all of your codes, okay? Thank you very much. Never edit. Welcome. And it's also a little bit daunting for me. It's like, am I some of the voices will start coming in. Are you qualified? You're not a book editor and stuff like that. But I was like, no time. Anita was saying, no time to go and down on it. Because timeline is so tight already. Yeah, Parkinson's Law. Timeline is so tight already. Just edit. And I had to, make sure that even in editing, it had to be your voices too. It cannot be my voice, right? So that's a very nice and fun project. Yeah. So sorry. The dog is barking. So,
okay.
Yeah. So we are so human, right? When we are given the opportunity, we are so happy, and then once we are embarking, it's like, all the voices come in. But it's the more important is, do you give in to the voices, or you say, shut up, let me do my work, right?
Exactly.
And then you take that step of courage to be visible, because the moment you publish your book, you're very visible. And your intention is, yes, I'm going to be visible, but I'm going to inspire at least even one person who read my book and be inspired is good enough, right? It's to inspire women out there. Yeah. So yes, very joyful, very
totally agree
surreal.
with that. Yes.
Yeah. And now is time to really use the book to help you with your business, help you with your life, and even to really, probably inspire your coaches. Yeah, your coaching. Right. Okay, so anything you want to add, Anita, before I ask the next question?
You're doing well. Doing very well, Julia.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so before we go to the next question, I want to say hello to Helen. Hello, Helen.
Hi, Helen.
Looking good, ladies. Thank you so much. Yeah. So Anita is looking very sexy.
Yeah, my show.
Yeah.
I just finished my FB live at 10. The fleece was up here. Your show can come down a bit.
Oh, lunchtime.
Yeah, she was.
This is a lunchtime. This is a lunchtime look.
Lunchtime.
We went for dinner.
Oh yeah.
Dinner, don't know what you wear. Don't know what she wear. Lower, got longkang come out.
No. Dinner pajamas, pop.
Yeah, so she was telling me she was telling me my last show she can wear a bit more sassy. Wow, sexy. Show shoulders. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Helen, for joining us. Okay, so the next question is, now that you have the book, any feedback from your family, friends, your clients? You show it to them. You tell them, hey, I got my book. Any feedback? Any response?
The initial feedback is, really? Got such thing? You authored a book? You co-authored a book? So that was, it's like you said correctly, it's surreal. I was also still in disbelief. I wasn't actively, you see, I actually wrote a book. None of that actually came out. It was like, when I went home with the book, I was like, hey, see, mommy has a book. Look, my face is inside. So I was showing off to the kids and like, really? So they were like, look. So there was a lot of disbelief. And still, I think, as I mentioned earlier, the dust is settling in only now when I had to create the order form and when I had to put everything together that, I'm a co-author. Even though when you write it down, be it updating your profile or anything, but creating the order form actually hit the nail down that thing, done. You are actually a co-author. You need to publish, you need to promote your book because the stories that are inside would actually inspire, empower, or pull someone out from wherever they are, if they are struggling.
And for me, my experience is I was a bit shy. I don't know why. I was a bit shy. I thought about a bit shy. Then I'll just like put it aside. And then after that, then after that I wrote a post like, I got this book, but still a bit shy, still not shouting out loud until my children asking, you wrote a book? I said, yeah, you all want to read?
I second that. I was very shy. Actually, if you look at my social media posts, I've not even put it out. It was like in one little corner of the we did that gratitude challenge. So it was in one little corner of the gratitude challenge. But I'm still very shy, very bashful about it.
Yeah. So today onwards, you cannot be shy. You have to shout out that, I've got this book. I think I'm going to do the same thing. Yeah, but eventually I did slowly tell my friends in my WhatsApp chat group I have this book, and I'm very thankful that they actually supported my book, because I was telling them that part of the proceeds of this book will go to help women's group, whether be it in SCWO or Aware. Yeah, so the proceeds will go to them. Yeah. So what about you, Anita? I'm sure
I was very opposite of you. I'm not shy. But I said again, when I saw the book, I think I didn't react. I was like, whatever, meh, But I think I reacted in the sense that my daughters were so proud of me. Like, my goodness, you're a book author of a book, blah, blah, blah. So they were doing a lot of PR for me. Even one of my daughters said, hey, you give me some, I go to my school, I tell all them must buy my mother's book. I mean, no. I said, no. You don't have to go and beat people up. They don't want to buy your mother's book. So it was nice. So I think that was important to me. It's not so much of from the public. I think the rah-rah I got from my kids were just exactly what I needed, and that was good enough for me. So yeah, so I am, and I got friends who are very positive, who are my like cheerleaders, and go, okay, when you come back to Malaysia, bring a few copies, because again, 100% of the proceeds, every sale goes to the beneficiary of the Rohingya kids, supporting the Rohingya kids back home in Malaysia, the refugees. So yeah, and people tend to be very kind when they know that I'm not keeping, when we are not keeping, any of the proceeds, or some of the proceeds. So that's nice. I like the public actually for that.
And I love how each and every one of us has a social responsibility tagged to our books, which is, we always encourage that, whether the Rohingya, the women's, or children even, So I'm very happy that all of us have this, the moment we have, that's the first thing that, okay, is we're going to donate the portion of book to charity, to organization that need help. So so that's very interesting and that's very good. Okay, so Lynette, one last question before we end. So looking back at your experience, looking back, Lilian always say we learn by reflection. Let's reflect on your experience and your journey from not even having this thought about writing a book to now you have Voices of Courage book. What's the one key takeaway from all this? Put you in the hot spot. See. Just do it.
It's really just do it. Because there will always be naysayers. In fact, when I was thinking about it, there were naysayers. It's like, really? You want to write a book? Can you do it? So all these kind of questions all came. It's like, how many words are you going to put in? So, etc. There will always be naysayers in whatever you want to do. But if you follow your heart, your passion, and the reason for it, the intent for it, the purpose for it is very clear, just do it. And that's that has actually it's something that I, particularly now in my journey as a mumpreneur, it's very close to heart, because many things that I come up with resembles the start of when the offer was made of, hey, we want to publish this code, and then when you're actually being asked to write a code. So similarly, when in the entrepreneur journey, there may be many opportunities available, but for you to take that step forward, for you to just breathe and be yourself, be authentic in that process, and just do it. It's easy to say, not easy to do at all. And even in today's journey, it's really just do it. Even in this coaching journey that I'm going through for accreditation, it is still a tall mountain to climb over. 500 hours, I was like choking. But the minute I set my intent on it, I'm very proud to say that, I'm 130 over hours away, shy from that. So just do it. And somehow, if your intention and your purpose is clear, things just fall into place. The universe just responds to you and gives you the energy, because your purpose and your intent is very clear. And that's actually, in a way, what I would like to share, inspire, empower other executives out there, that, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Whatever you're going through, seek for help when you need help. But also, when you're at that moment, don't forget to look after yourself. Because as you just do it, it's easy to get burnt out. But that makes the difference when you look back upon yourself and you're like, hey, not bad. I did it. Look, I have the book. Yeah, and that's really the reflection of this journey.
Thank you, Lynette, for sharing your reflection. See, Anita, even when she shares, she's so
Imagine, right?
calm.
And you're just so immersed into her voice.
Yeah,
and
I'm so like,
Soothing,
wow, I
right?
keep
That's my
like
coach,
staring at her. Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously, you really. No, it also speaks volumes about you. That's why I asked you. It shows your resilience also. That's why when I asked you about at that time when you were a teenager and when that offer was given to you, you took it up. Just like now again, 500 hours when that offer was given to you, you took it up. You know, and you still maintain that your true self, which is the poise and the soothing, can go to sleep kind of voice.
Oh, I don't. It's lunchtime. Later, have to work.
Yeah, I know, but it speaks about you. So
Thank you.
those who are out there, just because you see a very demure, very beautiful, very quiet, doesn't mean inside she doesn't roar loud. Okay, just that inside she's roaring very loud. It's just that she managed to control it outside. So it's really.
I roar at the appropriate moments also.
I like that raw all the time.
I don't want to see Lynette raw.
Different personality. Oh yeah, my kids know when it's coming then without even me opening my mouth. Yeah.
Okay, so
nice.
Yeah, really, and yeah. So every time when you talk, I will be very enthralled by you. I will just stare at you and really listen to what you have to say. Yeah. So yeah, okay. Anytime I'm fangirling now, okay?
Okay, can I help let your fangirl a little bit more?
Yes.
If I can support a cause, a campaign that I'm pushing for, is that okay?
Sure.
So I'm supporting this campaign called I Run for Hope. So it's by this organization called Limitless. They are an organization that provides mental health wellness, particularly for youth, where they believe that every youth should max out. I use the word max out because I think everyone has something great in them that's just waiting to be discovered or uncovered in that sense. So they are all for mental health wellness. And because of the current situation, they're not for profit, limitless, but because of the current situation with the pandemic, cases that were under the umbrella, some of them are in downward spiral further. And because of the same pandemic, there is an influx of requests, referrals from SOS, IMH, and etc. So they need a lot of support. And so they're having a fundraising campaign called I Run for Hope. I've posted it on my FB and on LinkedIn as well, various social media platforms. Basically, I would like to encourage those that are listening to head into my FB, share, like, post, but more importantly, if this is something that resonates with you, run for that hope and donate, because I have in turn pledged that for every donation, I would provide a coaching session complimentary, because I think these guys really need a lot of help. And that's where, with the skills that I have, I sincerely hope that they would reach the target of fundraise that they require. Thank you for allowing me to share that.
No problem, Lynette. Okay, so I'm going to insert the link. Later you give it to me. I'm going to insert it back into the caption here, so that people will know how to reach out and participate as well. Okay, so thank you, Lynette, for sharing. So what can our audience do? Please go and get Lynette's book now. Her link is in the caption in the YouTube caption, so it's there. So get it, fill in the form, get in touch with her, get her book, support her. Okay, yeah, it's below, not on top, below.
Yeah, YouTube is below.
Yep. Okay, so before we end, some shout outs at the end, not at the end of this month, actually next Tuesday already, we're going to have our monthly empowerment meeting, Women of Courage Asia. So ladies, if you're listening in, please come and join us. Okay, so we're going to have lots of games. I will be sharing, I'm going to teach you how to write about one thing in 10 different ways. And Catherine is going to share her story of courage. She's going to be a very inspiring story. And then you, the participants, will get to have opportunities to share your reflection, to also share your story of courage. And you're going to get freebies from me, from Catherine, from Women of Courage Asia. Wow, a lot of things. Aren't you excited? A lot of things, right? Yeah, come and join us and see what freebies you get. Okay? So next Tuesday.
I also want to rally. Yes, definitely rally for Julia. She's a fantastic content writer.
Yes, one thing, 10 ways. That's
not
her.
only that, you can have 10 million things on your head and she can summarize it into one sentence for you. And you're like, why didn't I think of that?
No, but
so
seriously.
simple.
Yeah, it's so true. I've been shouting out again, saying what you say, Lynette, is because now, because of this season, right, we are in COVID and all that. So we have to do a lot of things online. We have to do a lot of things via emails, and we have to write. So don't miss an opportunity. Come this Tuesday, okay? The link is there, Women of Courage Asia. Come and listen to Julia and get gold nuggets. And she's giving away freebies also. Alamak, you know. But serious, you really need clarity in the sense that a lot of times people say, I can't write. I don't know where to start. Okay, you can start by coming this Tuesday, okay? You come, you lie.
Thank you so much.
Bit of time.
Yeah, the investment is only time, right? Yeah. So thank you for all your support. I really feel very even more confident. I feel really happy, very enthusiastic, even more confident, and I really feel supported by all of you. Okay, so I'm so glad that I found Women of Courage Asia to be such amazing women, very supportive, crazy, foodie. And creative, talented, fun. Yeah, we always have fun, always laugh. Yeah. And of course, Lilian, our founder, we always say that, we always reflect, okay? There's learning, there's learning. Must say this now after she thinks that we're all having fun, do nothing.
We learn a lot.
Yes, yeah.
When we have fun, and then after that we reflect, then we have fun again.
Yeah. But sometimes we reflect, fun, then reflect again.
Yeah, because we do things with intention, very intentional doing things, and we have fun, we reflect, we learn, and then we go through that cycle again. So it's always all about positivity. Our energy is very high. Okay, so join us next Tuesday, 6:30. Yep. Anita, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just want to add on to what both Lynette and Julia. In fact, Julia, before Lynette came on, remember we were saying that we'll never dream, having this kind of opportunity to be, I will never dream I'll be doing Facebook Live or even speaking and all that. So there's one thing I appreciate about Women of Courage Asia is that, it's not just a women organization coming together, having fun and rah-rah. But, if you avail yourself, there's always an opportunity to grow and to step out of the box, and step out of your comfort zone and be successful. Again, I'm not talking about major successful, but even stepping out of the box is already a success, so I'm thankful.
Yeah, and we are all about courage, right? Taking the first step of courage. Just even to do something little thing is already a success. Your first step of courage need not be big. It can be a very small little step, but it's still with courage. Okay.
It's still huge. It's still huge for me. Having to do FB Live is huge for me. And I'm grateful. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, we are all
second and I third that motion.
Yes.
It's so true. The platform is really empowering. That's I think the one word that I would give to the platform, the whole community, the leaders. Actually, we just encourage each other to shine and just take courage to do what you had intent, because it's for a good purpose. Otherwise, you wouldn't think about it in the first place.
And there's so many good examples, right, of ladies who are journeying with us, and now being featured in newspaper, starting a business they didn't even know they could. It's so encouraging to see people that you sat down and had breakfast with now at a different level. So for me, it's a motivation to say that, it's true. I mean, the success that's going around us, and in this crazy time where everything seems to be failing. We hear most stories of failure, but it's so encouraging to see our ladies, out there doing so well. Yeah.
Very well said. Yeah, and all of us are always so happy, always rejoicing, always celebrating all their big wins, small wins. That's what we do, right? Yeah. Okay, so I think Anita also did talk about clarity, right? That you don't know whether you have clarity, very confused in it, when it comes to content writing. But if you need clarity in your life, whatever you want to find your purpose, you want to find a passion, come and have a clarity call with Lilian. Yeah, so the link is in our caption. I tell you, if you talk to her, you should be very clear one. Okay, you're gonna have clarity. Okay, yeah, sure, very clear because Lilian, she doesn't only like talk to you during sessions. She make you do work. So she's very intentional with her call with you, with her session with you, and she'll always make sure that you have experiential learning. So what is this experiential learning? We're not going to tell you. You're going to give a call with her. Yeah, and then you can find out. Yeah. And last but not least, do join us every Tuesday and Thursday, 12:30 on our lunchtime chat show on our Voices of Courage Asia channel. Yeah, 2 and 4, correct. Courage Review series. Yeah, done. Yeah. Subscribe to our channel and then, you'll be able to be alerted when we come on live. So our Courage Review series, we are focused on our Courage Blueprint. So it's all about personal development, helping you to focus on your personal development so that, you can achieve your goals, you can run after your dreams, you can do whatever you want to do. Now, next episode, next Tuesday, is going to be a very nice episode. Okay, we are now focusing still on shape, right? SHA. So next episode is P, personality. Whoops, she's gone. I think it's her. I think
It's the
it's
internet
her.
again. Does it matter? Okay. You are saying personality?
Yeah, personality, right? So what is this personality all about? So everybody talk about this. It's called Enneagram. Okay, she's back.
Nice.
It's about... Hi, Lynette.
She's back.
I'm back.
She just went to the loo and then come back. Okay. Yeah, so we are talking about personality, right? So it's all about Enneagram. Yeah, but next episode is just an overview. Okay, so Lilian will bring us through an overview of what is Enneagram all about. In Enneagram, there's 9 personality. Okay, so I'm type 5. Anita is type 2. Lynette, you're type 9. Yeah, see? Different. So we all, but what does it mean by being a type 5, being a type 2, and being a type 9? Okay, if you want to know more, you just come on next Tuesday, 12:30 to get an overview. Then 2 or 3 weeks later, we're going to bring people with the different types onto our show and we're going to talk about same, but different.
Same, different. Yeah,
it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, and when I found out about this Enneagram, I really, really understand myself even better. Like, now I know why I behave like that, why I'm like that. Yeah. So tune in next Tuesday. Yeah, anything to say about personality type?
No, you must come and watch. Seriously, it's definitely something that is a big buzz now in the outside coaching world. It's a huge buzz because personality is important. You want to work with the right people and you want to be the right person also. So, but I want to ask Lynette, if anybody wants coaching or are you still open to coach them to fill up the 150 hours or you're maxed out?
Of course. I would be delighted. Yes, thank you so much. So I'd like to answer your question in 2 parts. One is the personality. Yeah, so 2 parts. One is the personality test. I think there are many different personality tests out there, but the basis of it is actually being more aware of the way you behave a certain way, the way you react in a certain situation. Having that awareness actually brings you forward into managing yourself better and the people around you a lot better. And Enneagram is a very good tool for you to show that. And that's, I think, what Lilian will be sharing further about. Going on into your second point about helping me. Yes, please. So you can connect with me via Facebook, IG, or Instagram. LinkedIn, sorry, brain not working already. And also in the Voices of Courage, the order form, I've actually left a digital business card inside and also a link for you to connect with me if you like to a clarity call. That's one. run where once you donate any amount, and I deliberately did not pack an amount to it because given this pandemic, everyone have got different struggles. So whatever amount that you're comfortable with, once you donate, I'm happy to provide a coaching session. The only caveat is I need your receipt so that there's exchange over there.
So
Okay.
Yeah, do connect with Lynette. Really do connect with her, and just a token. Give her a token, an amount, so that she can pay it forward, and you get a session with her.
Yeah, it's not to my pocket. It's to the
Yeah.
Limitless. Yes.
Yeah, Limitless. I run for her.
Yes, I run for her.
Okay, great. Thank you. So it's about time. 1:21 already. See, we all can talk.
Wow. Time flies.
Yeah, time flies, right? And then it's not enough, right? We still want to talk some more, right? But unfortunately,
We can go on.
Yes,
but let's not. Lunchtime 1 hour only, technically.
Yeah, technically 1 hour, right? Yeah. So thank you so much, Lynette, for coming on and sharing with us your co-authoring journey. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, yeah, welcome. Thank you, Anita, for being my buddy. Yeah, to replace, not replace. Sit in for Lilian, not replace Lilian. Okay?
I don't replace Lilian also. I really like my life. I don't need to replace.
Yeah. So that's it from all of us. Have a good Thursday. Stay safe. Stay healthy, and connect with Lynette, Anita, and myself. And we see you
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Personality overview. Yay. Okay. Thank you.
All
Goodbye.
Right.
Okay, bye, ladies.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Take care. See you around. Bye.
See you around. Connect with her.